Vicky and I'm a children's physiotherapist at Lincolnshire Community Health Services. This video will take you through the senior Pilates programme.
Superman. Start in the crawling position with your knees under your hips and hands under your shoulders. You can, if you wish, place a ball or a small toy on the back. Float the opposite arm and leg and then gently replace them on the floor. Repeat this on the other side. Make sure you keep a flat back as you do this. Aeroplanes. Start by lying on your tummy. Point your feet and reach through your toes and float your legs away from the floor. Lengthen through your head and float your shoulders and arms away from the floor. Rest and repeat. Roll downs. Stand with your feet hip width apart and your weight evenly on both feet. Breathe in. As you breathe out, peel through your spine, curling forwards with your head relaxed. Then breathe in, and as you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under and peel up through your spine, one bone at a time. Repeat this. Jazz hands. Stand with your feet hip width apart and equal weight on both legs. Bring your hands to your chest with your elbows out. Then point your hands up, bringing elbows to your side. Reach to the sky and then reach out. Repeat this. Now try this in half kneeling. Thread the needle. Start on all fours with knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders and a long flat back. Float one arm underneath and across your body as far as you can. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, return to your starting position. Repeat this on the other side. Dead bugs. Start lying on your back, bring your legs to tabletop position and your arms up. Tighten your abdominal muscles and extend the opposite arm and leg. Return to the starting position and repeat on the other side. Bear walks. Start by standing with your feet hip width apart and equal weight on both legs. Bend forwards at your hips. Reach your hands towards the floor and walk them forwards into a plank position. Hold. Then return to starting position. Slowly walk your hands back and roll to an upward standing position. Repeat. Shoulder bridge. Start by lying on your back with your knees bent with a neutral spine. Gently roll your lower back into the floor and lift your tailbone upwards. Continue to peel your spine off the floor until you're resting on your shoulder blades. Then roll your spine back down bone by bone until your spine returns to neutral. Repeat. Shoulder bridge progressions. Once you rest on your shoulder blades, straighten one leg. Repeat on the other side. Now try removing arm support and hold. Now try adding toe or heel lifts from an ordinary shoulder bridge. Now try adding pelvic drops. And finally, add in an overhead reach. Overhead reach. Start by lying on your back with your knees bent. Make sure you keep a neutral spine. Float both your arms with your palms facing inwards. Lower your arms overhead as far as control is maintained. Then return your arms to the starting position and repeat. Make sure you don't arch your back when doing this. One leg stretch, level 1. Start by lying on your back with your knees bent up, keeping a neutral spine. Slide one heel along the floor away from you. Only go as far as you can by keeping control. Return to the starting position and repeat. One leg stretch, level 2. Start by lying on your back with your knees bent up, keeping a neutral spine. Float one leg into tabletop and then extend it forwards on a diagonal line. Fold it back into tabletop and then lower. Repeat on the other side. Scissors, level 1. Start by lying on your back with your knees bent up with a neutral spine. Float one leg into tabletop position and then lower. Repeat this on the other side. Focus on moving just the leg and nothing else. Scissors, level 2. Float both legs to tabletop. Lower one leg, then bring it back to tabletop. Repeat on the other side. Scissors, level 3. Float both legs to tabletop. Alternatively, lower your legs. They should cross at a midpoint. Breaststroke. Start by lying on your front, arms resting beside your body. Slide your shoulder blades downwards away from your ears. Reach your fingertips towards your feet and allow your arms to hover. Lift the upper body off the floor, keeping your neck nice and long. Lower your hands first and then your shoulder and head to the starting position. Repeat this. Clams, level 1. Start in side lying, head resting on your arm with your hips bent and knees bent to 90 degrees. Ensure your shoulders and hips are stacked on top of one another. Draw the top hip away from your shoulder, creating a small space between your waist and the floor. Slowly lift the top knee upwards, keeping both your feet together. Lower and repeat this. Make sure you don't roll your hips backwards. Clams level 2. Lift both feet in the air before you start. Then lift the top knee upwards, keeping those feet together. Repeat this. Again, make sure your hips don't roll backwards. Clams level 3. Straighten the bottom leg with your upper foot hooked by the bottom knee. Then slowly open the top leg up towards the ceiling, keeping the feet in contact with the floor. Repeat this. Hip twist level 1. Start by lying on your back with your knees bent up with a neutral spine. Float one knee outwards from the body and then slowly draw it back in. Repeat on the other side. Make sure you're just moving your leg. Hip twist level 2. Roll both your knees to one side. Continue to roll through the pelvis, waist and lower back. Then roll to the opposite side. Hip twist level 3. Float one leg to the tabletop position. Drop the leg outwards away from your body, keeping the hip and knee at 90 degrees. Bring the leg back. Repeat on the other side. Sidekick. Start inside lying, head resting on your arm, hips bent, knees bent to 90 degrees. Ensure your shoulders and hips are stacked on top of one another. Draw the top hip away from your shoulder, creating a small space between your waist and the floor. Float the top leg to hip height and then glide it forwards, keeping the knee bent, and glide it backwards. Progressions. Repeat the movement but with a straight leg, ankle pointed on the forwards movement and heel back. Spine twist. Start by sitting up tall, either cross-legged or on a chair if this is more comfortable. Cross your arms. Now breathe out and rotate to one side, making sure your hips are facing forwards. Breathe in and hold the stretch. Now as you breathe out, return to the starting position. Repeat on the other side. Arm openings. Start by lying on your side with your arms resting in front of you on top of one another and your knees bent slightly. Draw the top hip downwards slightly to create a small space between your waist and the floor. Breathe out and reach the uppermost arm towards the sky and around to the other side. Allow your head to follow the movement. Breathe in and hold this position. As you breathe out, return to the starting position and repeat.